Hey YouTube, so I'm actually recording this portion after I have filmed my Q&A and my giveaway, so I already know who the winner is and all that fun stuff. But right now I am looking at the time, and it's currently a 43-minute video, which plus this will probably get it pretty close to 45 minutes. So, due to the nature of the video and it being so extremely long, I do not want to force anyone to watch that length of time. If you do, thank you very much. I appreciate it, but I don't want to force anyone to find out who, if you're watching to see who the winner is, I'm not going to make you guys do that. So I'm going to put a little time down below in the description where you can check it out, see who the winner is without having to trudge through the rest. If you do, thank you very much. I appreciate it. The other thing is, if you guys could please like this video. I've been trolled some more recently. Just kind of, good to know every now and then. Like, if you dislike the video genuinely because you don't think my content is good, leave a comment. Tell me how I can improve, because, again, I want to make stuff so people watch it. I don't want to, keep putting out bad videos and then have people dislike it and I think it's a troll and it's someone actually genuinely wanted me to improve. So please do that. So, on to your regularly scheduled Q&A video. Well, YouTube, it is time for me to answer the questions. This was my 300-ish subscriber video where I asked people to leave comments as their contest entries. So in this video, I will not only answer the questions, but I will also give them away. I will film the who's winning the thing in one segment, so that way we can avoid any people accusing me of stuff. No one has yet, which is good, but yeah. So let's start to the cutting and splicing in of questions and answers.
Mr. Lubafood, this is Red Ryan Sucks, and I just thought I'd do a video response to your contest. Saying thanks for all your videos. You were kind of the one who inspired me to start doing my own videos. And yeah, my question for you is, what would you take out of this pack? Brimstone Rolling, that's pretty good. Avacyn Priest, got some contenders. Pretty interesting pack, so I'd love to know what you think. And yeah, thanks for your videos, and I really appreciate it. Bye.
Well, to begin with, I want to say thank you very much, Red Ryan Socks, for, by the way, he's the one that submitted this question. By the way, thank you for leaving it as a video response, and you are the first video response to any of my videos. I have made 350 some videos, and the only video responses have been my own when people have asked me because they were trying to look for other videos. So thank you for that. But when it comes to that pack, it should be kind of really obvious. I take the zombie token, of course. Who doesn't like zombie tokens? No, okay, but seriously. If it was pack one, pick one, I'd take the curse, because it can absolutely wreck some decks. Like green-white struggles so much against it. It's just a powerful card all around. But if it was like pack 2 or 3 and I'm already defining my colors, I'd probably take the Brimstone Volley just because it's splashable and it's really, really good. So the next one, the next is more like a series of questions. These are from Cool Magic Guy 14, who asked me, what's my favorite type of music, magic people in general that I admire, whether they be people I've traded with or people I want to, and my favorite magic color. So my favorite type of music, I kind of like rock, and I like classical. It's kind of tied between those two. Definitely the instrumental stuff. Queen is my favorite band, I do know that one. So yeah, there's that. Magic people that I admire. On YouTube, there's too many to the list. I'd rather not make a 45, 50 minute, I don't even think that would suffice, long video about everyone that I like on YouTube. There's just so many people. So I will say the pro player I really admire is Louis Scott Vargas. By far, he's the most entertaining. I've played with Connolly Woods before. He's very, very good. Don't get me wrong. He's very good, and for the most part, a pretty nice guy. But I have some respect for Luis. And my favorite magic color is that I don't really have one. It's kind of like blue, black, white are my favorite colors. But my favorite colors to play, or the ones that I play best, are like red, which is quite funny. But yeah, so there's that. So the next question is one that wasn't directly asked, but it's one I wanted to show anyway. And that is, what sort of happens behind the camera, specifically the webcam. For those of you who know, when I show my face, I use a webcam when I try and film myself opening packs or trade binders, like you can see them on my bed. Those ones I use this camera. So I kind of wanted to show what happens behind the scenes. So we've got up there, we've got a Hobbit poster from the 1976 book release. That one was a Christmas gift for my roommate. There you've got the Lord of the Rings movie poster, Return of the King. I'm just going to move back and forth. So then you've got the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess Collector's Edition picture from Nintendo. There, if you look carefully, is a little hedgehog motivational thing that some friend gave me. It says, "Life is like a box of chocolates. You're never quite sure what you're gonna get." And you can see a cute little picture of a hedgehog. You can see that I've got an original zombie bandana from Humans vs. Zombies, because I'm into that. I'm one of the mods at the game. Got an astronomy poster, or the poster calendar. You kind of see there's a little photo album of me and my girlfriend at the bottom right. We've got a drawing that was that was a card that Mr. Anonymity Trade gave, and I was so a fan. That little Christmas present that I forgot to give to someone. We've got a little bee turtle that my sister gave me. We got a flash drive because I'm an engineer and you have to have one. We've got the XKCD astronomy poster. We've got a bracelet my girlfriend gave me. Another Mr. Anonymity Trade thing. Up there, I'm not going to do it because it has my name on it, but that's my pass when I went to Microsoft. And here we've got the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring movie poster. Those are sticky notes with little jokes on them. And over there, we've got the Lord of the Rings Return of the King art from 1976 in the book. Kind of something I wanted to show off. No one specifically asked it, but I kind of just needed an excuse to show cool stuff. So now you know a little bit more about the sort of things that go on behind the camera. And new recording session. My roommate came in the middle of the last one, so kind of had to scrap it. So the next question is from Roxabox90, who asks, what set or block in Magic the Gathering did I enjoy most for its flavor and story? I really liked some of the older ones for flavor and story, like with Urza. But I'm just going to talk recently, I really liked Ravnica, because the current sets are kind of like this. Set 1, introduce the plane and show that there is some conflict. Set number 2, oh no, the conflict is getting worse. And set 3, someone wins. So, in Zendikar, the Eldrazi, Scars of Mirrodin, New Phyrexia, and Innistrad, we don't know what's going to happen yet, but yeah, Ravnica wasn't so distinct, so that's kind of why. So the next question is from Obuman323, who asks, if I were to open a jar of eyeballs and one-eyed scarecrow in my Dark Ascension pre-release sealed pool, would I leave my jar of eyeballs at only one counter to go with the flavor? Unfortunately, reading Jar of Eyeballs, it's a mandatory trigger, in the sense that you have to put 2 counters, you can't put 1. And so I would rather freak out and say, oh, this is so horrible flavor-wise, than take a game loss for not following the rules. Next we have Vicer74, who asked, what set did I first start playing? I'm going to assume this is when I first started playing more competitive, or not competitive, more often than just a sprinkle, and that it was during Rise of Eldrazi and M11. Next is Milo the Great One, who asks, if I had to fence against one's Planeswalker, who would it be and why? It'd be Venser, because he's Dead! Problem solved. Easy defense. Corpses. The next couple of questions, both, I'm just going to answer them in one take. Skaterboard Colt asked, what would my reaction be if I pulled a Sorin Lord of Innistrad at my pre-release sealed pool, or if I pulled multiples? And a person who scored also asked, well, he asked, would I hug him with all of my strength if I pull him? Well, let's think. I was at a pre-release where I opened Jace Memoriata back when he was like 40, and I opened Primeval Titan in the same pool. And my reaction was like, okay, sweet, I opened Mythics, let's try and win. And Sorin's pretty good at winning. And would I hug him? Probably not. I mean, if we've got, this is some arbitrary. No, doesn't work out so well. Yeah, cards don't give very good hugs. A person who scored also submitted a couple other questions. They don't count for extra entries to the contest, but I'll just answer them. So we have, he started playing, he asked, what's a good deck that's under $20 that's any deck? There's a lot of decks that can be done. I'm not sure. Like, the reason decks cost so much is because the good cards that people realize are good are equated with price. So the price goes up if a card does well in a tournament. That's why, yeah, there's all sorts of examples. Wormcoil Engine, for example, if people watched, went from a $6 rare to a $30 rare for a little bit. But to answer this question, I always find mono red to be a good starting point, since you can always use a lot of commons, uncommons. Like you can replace Stromkirk Nobles with Reckless Waifs for budget. Yeah, that sort of thing. And then we have, which pack has better rares, M12 or Innistrad? I like the Innistrad rares better. I'm not sure if you're asking value or quality, but I would say Innistrad. So the next question's from JGSB111, who asks, what was my first job and did it teach you anything about life? So my first job was actually teaching fencing. I know I've mentioned that in a video in the past. It started when I was in high school, and let's see, it taught me to be more patient with people, and also it taught me how to stab stuff. So according to that job, what I've learned about life is be patient with people but still stab them. The next one's from IR So Column, who asks, if I could own one card from any set, what card would it be and why? Alpha Black Lotus. But not only because it's pretty expensive, but also because it's like a real piece of Magic history, which is kind of why I'm trying Pack to Power. I don't really expect to get a Black Lotus. I'm probably going to get something that's less in value, but I still want something like that, like a real proof of the history. Next we have MTG Awesomeness, who asks, what is my favorite deck out there? I'm going to assume out there is in the entire spaces of creation. And my favorite deck is still in my head. It will exist eventually. It will be my 5-color EDH Tribal Angel deck. Not sure how in the world I'd make that work. If not, it would be just a 5-color deck that has one of every angel and then a ton of mana fixing. Yeah, that's definitely the best one. So the next one comes from Kent's Dragon MTG, who asks, if I could design a set, what would it be its theme and its name? I am horrible at coming up with names of anything, like just in general. I've been notorious for that. So I'm not even going to give a name because I can't. But what would its theme be? Definitely space themed. It's card games in space. Next is from SDAG88083, who asks, what is my favorite Planeswalker? What is my least favorite Planeswalker? And what is the deck that I just hate playing against? Favorite Planeswalker's Urza. Least favorite's Nissa. And the deck I hate playing against, I loathed playing against Caw-Blade. But if it's not just that, then it's like decks that run pure counter spells. Like there's some EDH decks that are just irritating like that, and that it's just no fun. Next we have NV Wolf 418 who asks, "What is my favorite legacy creature?" I'm pretty sure Sarah Angel's legal in Legacy, but if you want like a decent Legacy creature, it'd be Iona, just because you played it in a Reanimator deck and you messed stuff up badly. You can't cast any more blue spells. Oh no, I'm mono blue, I lose. MTG Titan asks, "What is my favorite card in Dark Ascension?" Definitely Zombie Apocalypse. I saw it and nothing else has trumped it. Just on fun levels. Still think they should have swapped the order, but they already admitted that flavor-wise, it's in their notes if you read what they say of what Wizard says of Zombie Apocalypse. So Nintendo Fan 1017 asks, "I know I got into Magic through getting a pack early on in life. How did I get into Magic or card games in general?" So there's this whole story behind it, and it was answered in the last Q&A video. Basically, I played it for like 6 weeks on a summer camp, and then since I never bought any of the cards, I didn't actually get hooked on it. And then when I came to college, not my first year, the second year, my roommate got me hooked, and haven't looked back. And how did I get into card games in general? Long ago, I was into Pokemon. Not gonna deny that. That was certainly a phase. Then after that came Yu-Gi-Oh! That was a short phase. And then there was like a good period of time where I didn't do much in card games. And then came Magic. Plus I'm always super competitive, and I like having fun. So it naturally appeals to me. So we have the Cookie Monster one that asks, "What are my views on the wow. On the bans in Modern, and do I think any of them should be unbanned?" I think the bans are for the best. I mean, the preemptive ones were basically to ensure that the decks that dominated in the past weren't just brought back for Modern again. So, like a solid, a really, really good Affinity deck. Or, I mean, Jund is still around, but just some of the stupid Dredge, that's another one of the big ones. And I think he's also mentioning the newer bans, which was Punishing Fire and Wild Nikotl. And I think it's for the best. Wild Nikotl was pretty much always a 3/3 beater every game if you had it in your opening hand. Not every game, but every time you had an opening hand, you'd always get a 3/3 beater just because of how Zoo had its fixing set up. So I think the bans are for the best. It really starts opening up Modern for all sorts of different decks. 15 Rambo asks, "If I could be a werewolf in Magic flavor-wise, which one would I be?" Probably Tormented Pariah, Rampaging Werewolf. I think that's the one that fits best. Should be pretty straightforward from there. Stupid as last. How and when was the term "the stack" created and why? I have no idea. I'll be honest. I would think it would happen near the start of Magic, but I'm not 100% sure. And why? Well, I mean, it sort of makes sense if you start stacking, like, triggers. It makes sense for it to be called the stack. But as for when it originated, I have no idea. Next, Warpig MTG asks, "What is my favorite Magic the Gathering card?" I mean, I have no idea what could possibly be my favorite Magic card. It's so hard to think of one. It's really, there's so many different cards to choose from. It makes it really difficult to think through it. It's so rough. So Volmar38 asks, other than angels, what is my favorite creature type and favorite creature of that type? So after angels, it's the key phrase. Slivers is my next favorite, just because I like how they all are like the Borg. All they do is just make each other stronger. And my favorite one is Sliver Queen, which is why I'm looking for one for EDH. We have Force MTG Trading asks, what is my favorite art from Innistrad? And definitely would be Into the Maw of Hell, because it's just that, right? It's the ground opening up beneath them and fire. Yeah, that's all. Befroid asks, what is my view on banning, and what cards in Standard now should be banned and why? Including, and then he also asks about Legacy and Modern. Well, I mean, I think banning's a necessary component to the game, because otherwise you just end up with situations where one deck dominates and everyone plays and it destroys the creativity. And definitely in Standard, I don't see anything that's worth banning. You can tell that there's no one deck that's dominating. There's decks to keep in mind, so you have to know about Wolf Run, you have to know about Delver decks, probably the Black-White Tokens deck now that Innistrad's out. And Legacy I'm not so sure about. I don't think that there's anything worth banning right now. And Modern, I think they've taken care of all the bans that they needed to. Goose41SS asks, what's my favorite Innistrad tribe? Spirits. Because Angels technically doesn't count as a tribe in Innistrad, even though there are cards that exist for it. I know I already answered this question, but I'm just going through in order. Osman1 asks, what's my favorite card shown in Dark Ascension? Zombie Apocalypse. Chippy12 asks, if I could be any creature type other than human or angel, what would it be? Darn it! That key angel thing. Ugh! Yes. I would like to be an angel. But, if I had to pick a different one, probably say Shapeshifter. Just because it'd be cool. Gizbor380 asks, when will I post more Pack Wars? Also, if I could make any jank, hilarious deck in Modern or Standard that would be somewhat playable, what would it be? I want to post more Pack Wars. The person I filmed with, really good friend, he kind of decided to go ahead and graduate. He was ahead of me in years, and he's just like, oh, I'm just going to graduate because I'm smart like that. So, I see him every now and then, and I want to get an episode of Pack Wars with him again. Yeah. And, if I could make any jank, hilarious deck, Angel deck, enough said. MTG Player 62 asks what my favorite block of MTG is, or Magic. And my favorite block is, I don't know why, but I have this extreme fascination for Time Spiral block, and I'm not sure why. But, yeah, that's what I pick. The Southern Fawns asks, what multi-card combo is my favorite or most fun that I've used in a Magic match? I'm not sure about most fun, but my I don't really have a favorite, but I love all of those instant speed, exile your library combos. I run 4 or 5 of them in my EDH, my more competitive EDH deck. The Slivers one's gonna be more for fun. The Una one, I wanna finish it up, get a few more tutors, and instant speed, exile target player's library is pretty good. Afromime asks, if we lived in a Magic the Gathering world, what kinds of Planeswalker would you be? Definitely a sword-bearing angel Planeswalker, because that would be awesome. Also, bonus points goes to anyone who can make something like that. I would probably trade for it. Yo Jerry asks, when did I start playing Magic, what's my favorite card, and what's my favorite set? P.S. I love your videos. Already answered all 3 of these, but thanks for the compliment. Armageddon Wings asks, what is my favorite archetype and set to draft? Favorite archetype would be Super Friends, because that just implies you've opened Planeswalkers. I would, if I ever get the chance to play multiple Planeswalkers in the same draft deck, Super Friends would be it. And my favorite set to draft, I've had a lot of fun with Innistrad. I did not like M12 at all. I mean, just because it's more recent memory, I would say Innistrad has been my favorite. JSMTG314 asks, how do you think your Nyapod deck I'm building will fare against cards like Grafdigger's Cage? Remember when I said that was the ultimate hoser? I was kind of overreacting. Even still, turn 1, Grafdigger's Cage. Congratulations. It wrecks my deck. Just. Mr. Anonymity Trade asks, how successful do you think the Mirran Resistance will be in defeating the Phyrexians now that Venser's Sacrifice has allowed Karn to re-enter the fray? Do I think that Mirrodin can be purified, or has the oil already completely the land? I think Phyrexians just wrecked Mirrodin so much. Like, there's been so much damage done that they brainwashed Wizards to make sure we don't have another set on Mirrodin. Ever. Again. Ever. Sucked to have that flashback. Ugh. Anyway, Phyrexia 1. The end. Pop-Tarts1 asks, have I ever played any of the Phoenix Wright games? And other than Portal, what are my top 10 favorite video games? Only one franchise per selection. Probably knew about Portal because of all the shirts I wear. So, yes, I have played Phoenix Wright. And removing Portal, this list is not in any particular order, but these are 10 series or franchises that I like. Zelda, Half-Life, Assassin's Creed, Left 4 Dead, Halo, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, The World Ends With You, which is my favorite DS game, Super Smash Bros., and Mario Kart. By far my favorite questions to answer will be the following ones. From Past the Jufron, who asks, when someone asks me a penny for your thoughts and I put my 2 cents in, what happens to the other penny? And the other one is, why does a round pizza come in a square box? So, a penny, right, isn't actually worth a cent. If you were able to melt it down and get value from it, it's like 1.77 cents. So, if you want a penny for your thoughts and I put my 2 cents in, I'm almost giving a penny. The extra 0.23 cents gets lost in rounding errors, but significant figures. Psh. And why does a round pizza come in a square box? Because it would be terribly inefficient to try and put a round pizza in a rhombicosi dodecahedral box. Just be such a waste of cardboard. Mr. Dude of WoW asks, what am I going to school for? I am going to school for I'm taking a bachelor's right now in electrical and computer engineering, and I'm getting a minor in applied mathematics. Basically, a very long title for saying I'm going to be in a dark, damp dungeon for the rest of my life playing with electronics, mwahahaha, building a giant robot army. PollyB6838 asks if I could work for Wizards of the Coast, or would I do it, or would I rather get a job in the career I'm studying? I would take a job in engineering, not only because it would probably pay better, but it's really, really fun. Working for Wizards would be great, but in the long run, I'd like working with actual stuff. Electronics and stuff that defines the world around us. Kid726 asks, if I could somehow become an article writer, would I write for Star City or Channel Fireball? What would my article be about? And if I picked Star City, would I want to be a premium writer? Why or why not? I'd write for Channel Fireball. I like Channel Fireball. They're both solid websites. I just like what Channel Fireball does a lot more. And my article would be about trading for fun, because there's all these articles everywhere about trading for value and getting great cards, but there's very few that talk about, trading just to enjoy yourself, meeting new people, especially through the internet. And would I want to be a premium writer if Star City? No, because it's kind of why I'm on YouTube, right? I want my content to be out there for free. I don't want people to have to pay to see what I'm doing. I'm not that smart. Next is Super Soldier, which asks, what edition of cards has the best mythics or my favorite mythic? This is a hard question. I would say, like, compared to most other sets, I don't know what you mean by best, I would say Shards of Alara had the most balanced of the mythics because it was the first that they really introduced them in. Best mythics? I mean, there's always those disappointing ones like Archangel's Light, which is actually somewhat okay in sealed. Every time I saw someone play it, it won the game. But like you have that one, or you have like Time Reversal, right? Where it's hard to pick a set with the best mythics. So my favorite mythic is, I'm gonna cheat and say it's a Chroma, because in the dual decks, Angel or Divine versus Demonic, a Chroma has the mythic symbol on it, so it counts. MTG Pokemon asks, if I were to qualify for the Pro Tour playing Magic, would I quit school to pursue that as a possible career, or would I finish school and play in a few Grand Prix and Pro Tour events? So some of you might know, I've been trying to qualify by going to PTQs. I would not quit school. I would stay in school. Magic is a hobby for me. It's not going to be a job. But I also do have a job Saturdays, which is normally when the Grand Prix and the Pro Tours are. So I would ask for those weeks off so I could go and play more competitively. And who knows? Maybe in the future, but I'd probably stay in school. School's important. Learning is important. Skater Metal 69 asks, what is the value of 2x minus 7 equals 16 to the y? And the real question, so the answer is y is log base 16 of 2x minus 7. But he asks, do you believe Modern would be more fun and just as balanced if they unbanned Mental Misstep and all the amazing one-drops? No. Oh, he gives examples. Nicodle, Senses Divining Top, Glimpse. No. Because then every deck would want to play, or most decks would want to play 4 Mental Missteps. And I don't know about you, but the one card I loathe playing against more than any other card is Sensei's Bleepin' Divining Top. Because most times, people just use the top and take forever and slows the game down so much. So no, it would not be more fun and just as balanced. Because then every deck would play a misstep, and they would just have insane one-drops. And if you don't have a misstep and they get it out there, you're in trouble. MTGA2 guy asks, boxers or brief? Boxers. Dual Dialga 356 asks, do I think Illusions, if they were given newer versions of cards, would have any fighting chance in any specific format? I'm one of those people that thinks that you can make any deck work. You just have to be creative with it. So I think maybe is my response, I guess. Next we have Datru Whiteboy, who asks, what am I most looking forward to in Dark Ascension, and how would I rate some of the cards in the set to that of older ones from Innistrad and even older sets? I am most looking forward to playing against a humans deck, playing Zombie Apocalypse, and having a ton of zombies. That would be my favorite thing, just absolutely wreck house with that card. How would I rate some of the cards in the set? I mean, they're okay. Zorin's fun. They have some good flavor cards. So, it's alright. So the next question is from Summon Epic Win, who asks, what are the best and worst experiences I've had at the table? So I'd say my best experience was, I went to my first tournament ever, which was the, I want to say, Scars of Mirrodin release. Yeah, it was release. First time I had ever drafted. I hadn't studied anything at all, so I was completely blind to what was going on. And I went in, drafted a horrible, horrible deck, but I won. I went 3-0, and I won a couple packs, and then I opened a Koth in them, which was pretty cool. That was the week before I started filming for YouTube, oddly enough, I want to say. And then, no, it wasn't the week before YouTube. It was a while before YouTube. And then the worst experience is just playing with some really, like, irritating people. Like, sore losers, sore winners. Both of them exist. One of them, the one that stands out in my memory as the worst was I was at PTQ, my first PTQ, and I was going against this guy, and he lost to me. I top decked really, really well. Like, he had the possibility, I saw afterwards, he had the possibility for an infinite Mindslaver combo. This is in Scars of Myriad, of course, which was pretty cool that you could do it. He didn't see it at all. And so when I beat him, he freaked out. He's like, "Oh, I can't, I'm here to win, not here to play." I said, "Well, I'm sorry, that's the way it is. Don't say sorry, you win, accept it." Like, he was really mean to me. So it would probably be the worst experience at the table. So the next question's from bsmith0430 that asks, what effects do you think Dark Ascension will have on Standard, Modern, and Legacy? I think Standard there's going to be the attempt to have a better green deck, apart from just Wolfrun Ramp, with the aggro pieces they got. Modern, I think, is where the Black-White Tokens deck will fit the best. I think that people will try Black-White Tokens in Standard as well, but in Modern it's going to be much better. And in Legacy, I think Grafdigger's Cage is going to be the most important influence that's going to happen. Crux25565 asks, who was my first EDH general? It was this guy, Sabo Tabak. 7 mana cost for a 7/4 first strike that has protection from legends and legendary. So protection from legendary. That for double black and tap. Destroy target legend, it can't be regenerated. It's my first EDH general. I tried to play black-red. It was a horrible deck. But it was my first EDH attempt. The second general I got was Una, and the third one's going to, once I get Sliver Queen, will be Sliver Queen. Magic TG Insider asks, why did you like playing Magic? This is easy, because it's fun. So, Thief Colm asks, which Planeswalker could I relate most to in my playstyle, and which Planeswalkers is my favorite? To my playstyle, it'd probably be Chandra, just because I'm extremely impatient, want to play burn and stuff like that. And I've already answered which is my favorite, Urza. The next question is another fun one. This guy Sparky asks, what is the craziest thing I would do on camera to acquire a full set of the Power 9? I would need ideas, but it would probably be something stupid about me running around in the snow. There's like 15 inches outside. Screaming probably would be in there too. And something else embarrassing. Probably do something like that on camera. Yeah. Now I'm thinking about it. No, I'm not thinking about it anymore. Good question. The Caleb Kangbang asks, what toothpaste I used? Crest. I wasn't paid for this product placement. Shadow1910 asks, what would Jesus do if he built a deck for Standard? I mean, if you said Modern, I would definitely play Wrath of God, or say he would play Wrath of God. I don't want to be, like, offensive in any way, shape, or form. Maybe Reanimator? Pro Sasan asks, why doesn't the Invisible Stalker deck work? So I think that if you're wanting to make a deck centered around a card, you want to make it centered around not just one, you want to make like 3 or 4 cards. So like Tempered Steel is not just Tempered Steel, it's Tempered Steel and then aggressively costed artifact guys. Or Wolfrun Ramp, right? It's not just Keswick Wolfrun, it's that Primeval Titan Inkmoth Nexus. Like, there's a sort of idea. Invisible Stalker, like, if you don't draw the Invisible Stalker, it's kind of rough. Also, because of all the tokens, there's a lot more board wipes that are there, too. Something else to keep in mind. And the last question. I've tried to keep the rest of these short so the video isn't too long. I'm looking at the edit right now and it's like 37 minutes, so I apologize for that. I will put a shortcut link if people want to just see who won the contest, because don't want to make anyone watch a 37+ minute video. But the final question is from WorldWaker2, who asks, how can you get a turn 1 win with a Chimney Imp? And I actually have to use the Chimney Imp. I can't just have it. Made me work for this, so I had to think. Okay. So, you have to be on the draw for this to work. I cannot make it work on the play. I couldn't think of anything to make it work on the play. So, you have the following cards in your hand. Chimney Imp, Dark Ritual, Lotus Petal, Culling the Weak, Glimpse of Nature, and Tendrils of Agony. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. So, you got those, and then you have to draw a Lotus Petal. So your turn 1 is, you play a Swamp, you play your Lotus Petal, you sacrifice it to make a green mana, and play Glimpse of Nature. Then, with your Swamp, you play Dark Ritual, you play another Dark Ritual, play a Lotus Petal, you make it, let's say, white, and play your Chimney Imp. So you've got, I want to say, 2 floating after that. When you play your Chimney Imp, you have to draw a Memnite. You then have to play your Memnite and draw, let's say, another Memnite. And you draw all 4 of your Memnites, and you draw 4 Ornithopters as those. You keep playing all of those. And because they're all 0 cost, you can keep playing them, and with Glimpse of Nature, you can keep drawing 1 more card, so you keep playing them. After you play the 4th Ornithopter, doesn't really matter what you draw, you then play Culling the Weak to sacrifice your Chimney Imp. So that way, you need the Chimney Imp to be sacrificed in order to have enough mana to play Tendrils of Agony. And because you played enough cards, the Storm trigger activates, and you win. And if you didn't have the Chimney Imp, right, you wouldn't have enough mana. Assuming you can't sacrifice the Memnites and the Ornithopters. But there you go. There's your turn 1 Chimney Imp win. Made me think for that one. Great question. And it is time, the moment of truth, and the real reason why you guys sat through this video. Or some of you haven't, I know. I decided to put a link for it because I didn't want anyone to sit through this. It's currently 41 minutes of video recording just to find out who won. Though if you did, thank you very much for watching the whole video. I appreciate it. But I am putting a link at the beginning of the video so that way no one has to suffer through it, because face it, 41 minutes plus whatever I'm talking now, plus whatever intro I make, it's just going to be very, very long. So let's just skip right to the chase, right? Winner gets 2 packs of their choice. Of course, there are set limitations, because if I can't get a hold of it, I can't count it. So, we've got everyone's name, going from 1 all the way down to 57. And we are going to find out who is the winner. I've opened random.org. We're going to go from 1 to 57. Ready, bum ba dum, do 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 do, drum roll, dramatic music. Ta-da! 19. Who is number 19? It is Stupidazzle. You get the capital X of the winner, and I'll give you like 2 weeks to contact me. Let me know what sort of packs you want. I'll get a hold of them. And then I'll need your address and I'll send them. Thank you to everyone who left comments. Really appreciate it. I should be having another giveaway of sorts soon. Thanks to Magic on a Budget. Hopefully you guys like this video. Please leave any comments, suggestions. Please like this video. I'd appreciate that. And thanks again.